that in a little more detail, because frankly, if they're using drugs while conducting a league poll, I just really don't feel that's a best interest of the league. Commissioner, I think you would agree with me on that.
Well, Coach, I do in certain ways. That I'm going to leave that in your hands. I delegated this task, to you, so I know that you will look into it appropriately and levy out any fines or whatever needs to be done. Now, as you were actually explaining, thank you for informing us all of your wonderful league role and what it entails. But while you were doing that, I was actually just handed a telegram. And Will, it looks like we have some breaking news.
We have ourselves breaking news from the world of the Dynasty.
Brought to you by Jumbo Donuts.
Well, it looks like we got ourselves not one, but two trades that have just gone through, Coach. And while I have you on the line, I apologize for interrupting our interview, but I'm going to go ahead and communicate that here.
I understand completely. You've got dual roles here in this league. You're killing yourself. You want to get that commissioner rating back over 100. I completely understand.
I am. I'm really shooting for it this year. Hong Kong Cavaliers have received the one and only Caucasian Mr. Whitey Wes Welker from Soul Glow. Hong Kong has also received a 6th-round draft pick. Soul Glow receives the Ravens receiver Torrey Smith, along with a 2nd-round draft pick. Wow. And then a second trade that just also went through involving myself and the Iron Dogs, which consists of myself receiving quarterback Tim Tebow, and this is a stipulation trade. The Iron Dogs in return will be receiving a draft pick. If Tim Tebow scores 265 fantasy points this regular season, then the Iron Dogs will receive my 5th-round pick. If Mr. Tebow scores less than 265, then it will be a 12th-round pick. So those are the two trades. I guess while I have you, Coach, what do you think?
Well, I just want to clarify real quickly here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that if Steven Jackson rushed for 1,000 yards, then I owned your 5th pick.
I actually have numerous 5th-round. Before this Tebow trade went down, I had a 5th-round pick from.
Sorry, I did not check the draft board today before I got on the phone. I apologize.
No. That's okay. That's okay, Will. That's okay. Yeah, no, I have Amber Alert's 5th-round pick from the recent trade that went down regarding Jermaine Gresham, and I also might have your pick, you might have my pick. So either I have my own pick and Alert's pick, or I only have Alert's pick, depending on what happens with S-Jack. So either way, regardless of what happens with S-Jacks, I will have at least one 5th-round pick, and that pick would be the pick that would go to Iron Dogs if Tebow hits that stipulation factor.
Wow.
Yes, I was right.
Wow. I would watch out. 256, that's a lot, but still, a good chunk of the season still to go. That he's going to see a lot of those rushing touchdowns are going to go his way, which could really inflate that number big time.
Yeah, it averages out to about 23 or 24 points a game. It would be pretty. He would have to go off, but the guy's got upside, and he's got Jesus on his side. Will.
John Elway would kill to have 23 points a game. I think he would kill to have Tebow putting up 23 points a game in our league.
There it is. Now, Coach, what we're going to do next is, even though you're having a little bit of a tough season, again, you have a strong fan base. Those Rockdalian fans are top notch. You have fans all around the world. We're going to go ahead. We're going to open up the Dynasty mailbag where one of your fans wrote in to ask you a question. So let's open that up.
It's time to open up
the Dynasty mailbag.
Jay Cutler from Chicago, Illinois writes in, and I quote, "Dear Coach DeYoung, back in Dynasty Season 4, in the first round of the playoffs, I threw an interception at the end of the game, which cost you a return trip to the Dynasty Bowl. Your outrage and disgust of me is in the Dynasty Hall of Fame. Will you ever forgive me?
Absolutely not. Frankly, I feel that he's a piece of garbage. He cost me my return trip to the Tailgate. Now, the worst part about it is that not only did Jay Cutler cost me the return trip, but if you look at the scores on that final week, I had more than enough points to not only win the championship, but I would have handily defeated all three of the other teams in the playoffs that day. Disappointing. My hate will never go away. I hope that you break your knee this year. Unlike last year, where you only half broke your knee, which I think you still sat yourself down. So I hope you really break your knee, so you really won't have to, give an excuse about sitting down. You'll just be down permanently.
There it is. So your hatred for Cutler, Mr. J. Diabetes Cutler, remains. Now, next up,
stronger with years.
It's building stronger. It sounds it. Next up, we are going to read off the Dynasty Power Rankings Enigma. As you know, every week the Power Rankings Association conducts an enigma within their write-up. Last week, Mr. Coach Whiffen was the first coach that actually was not able to get it correct. So let's see if you can start up another winning streak here. I'm going to go ahead and read them off. Here we go. David Givens, Sean Payton, Will DeYoung, Whitey Wes Welker, Jamal Charles.
Nope. Don't think I know this one. Everyone's gonna think I'm a fucking idiot, though. Not as much as with him. God, I fucking hate him.
I have to think it's that every guy has looked into having a robotic knee put back into their body.
You got it. Good job, Coach. Every one of those individuals had a very, very serious knee injury at one point in their lives. Actually, Matt Whiffen could have been included within this enigma, as he has a robotic knee as well. How was your knee doing, by the way?
It's doing just great. Obviously, I was trying to stay active out there. Obviously, I've got after the season, I've decided that I'm going to take a little trip out to the Colorado and get a little skiing in. So knees working great. Personally, I couldn't have taken the doctor to see it anymore.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, what I'd like to do, Coach, is I'd like to thank you very much for your time here today. I'm actually getting another call. You can probably hear the beep. Looks like I'm getting a call from another coach looking to try to probably swing a deal. So, with that being said, good luck this week. I hope you get off the losing ways, and I'll probably we'll all see you hopefully in a couple of weeks at the Dynasty Midseason Hangout. And again, thanks for joining us.
No, Commission, it's always a pleasure, and thank you very much. You have a great night.
All right. You take care and be careful out there, Coach.
Gotta watch those sniper rifles, I'm telling you.
There it is. Take it easy. Well, there you have it. This is the conclusion of Dynasty Podcast number 6. Now, before I sign off here, I would like to let everybody know that next week's podcast, podcast number 7, is actually going to have a little bit of a different flavor to it. I'm not going to really divulge what's going to occur, but I will be joined in the studio with somebody else, and additionally, there's actually going to be, we're not going to have a coach interview next week. We're actually going to have another type of interview from an outsider, and that person may or may not be a minor celebrity. So, with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for listening. As usual, this is Coach and Commissioner Eric Costanza. Good luck in everybody's Week 7 as we move forward here in the Dynasty. Signing off.